Welcome to the Networking RX podcast. I'm your host, Frank Agin, founder and president of AM Spirit Business Connections. Today, we have another great guest. As our ongoing subscribers know, often on this podcast, I will be sharing ideas and insights and best practices for building professional relationships and helping you become better with your business networking. Occasionally, I will be interviewing subject matter experts, authors, speakers, thought leaders, social scientists. These people share their knowledge to help us build relationships, as well as understanding why those interactions work. Today, I've got a really great guest on. I've got Renee Piane. She's an internationally recognized love designer and relationship reinvention expert. She's the author of Love Mechanics and the pioneer of rapid dating. I have a copy of her book, Get Real About Love, The Secrets to Opening Your Heart and Finding True Love. She is a popular inspirational speaker. She has been a talk show host and featured love and dating expert on, and follow all of this, CNN, NBC, ABC, The Today Show, and Lifetime. Her love advice has been shared in the Los Angeles Times, the New York Times, Cosmopolitan, Men's Health, and tons of others. The Wall Street Journal, in fact, has listed her as one of the 8 resources for single men in America. She's matched thousands of people in love, friendship, and business. She's married to the man of her dreams, and she's really an inspirational role model. I've got to get to know Renee over the last couple months here, and it's really been awesome. Renee, welcome to the program.
I'm really happy to be here. I think like you, when I saw you, Frank, thank you for this great introduction. You know, we're kind of like kindred spirits, where we know how important it is for people to make connections. And I've been reading your book, just like you're reading mine. Yours is more business oriented. Mine is relationships. And like you said, it's all the same. So I'm super honored to be here to share my passion with your business associates, because love and business really do go together. When your relationships are a little wonky, or people are going through transitions or relationship challenges, sometimes it affects their confidence and ultimately their business bottom line. So when I saw what you were doing, I was like, God, this is a good match for my show too, because people need to learn how to make connections. So I was glad that my techniques worked, because I call it my flirting with life techniques, because what you're doing and what I'm doing are really helping a lot of people. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. It's interesting, as you were talking there, I was thinking about one of my franchisees, and he revealed to me he went through a divorce several years ago. And he said, you know, when I was going through a divorce, I didn't see it, but my colleagues said, you are just off. You are just off.
Yeah.
And as you were talking about, when we have troubles with our relationships, it really impacts everything. But one of the things I'm fond of saying for the people who are longtime listeners of this program is God gave us one brain, and there's not a special compartment in that brain for business and one for personal. And so relationships are relationships. And I really wanted to have a conversation with you, not necessarily dating advice, although I think all this stuff is going to play into it, how to be that perfect person, that, but just advice you give people on how to behave and how to create relationships. And I know that's kind of a broad start, but you know, you're meeting somebody for the first time. What are some things that you kind of go through with them, and kind of, especially when you see somebody who just can't quite get out of their own way?
I think that when people go through disappointments or challenges, whether it's a divorce or they're not having success with their dating life because they work so much, I find the first thing is that a lot of people don't look at life in more of a, like, it's an experience. Like every day is an opportunity to meet someone, and they think of it like, well, I'm going to go to a networking thing, and that's when I'm going to be this professional me, and then I'm going to be the personal me in another aspect of my life. And it's really whoever you are, wherever you are, is how you should show up, right? So I tell my clients, mostly that are successful business people, that there isn't like a distinction between your business and I mean, of course, when you're doing business, that's one thing, but every day, wherever you are, is an opportunity to connect with people. So I always, and as with people that are stuck at home right now, they're not dressing up, right? So every time I've seen you, you're ready for action for
I
your
am.
day, right?
Yeah.
So I talk about this, like whether a person is dating now or they're making business contacts through LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever it is, people will look at you everywhere. So I'm an image makeover expert. I take people and I say, get ready for success, whether it's for dating, for love, for business, every day. So in the morning, even if I don't have a lot going on with the corona, with Zooming and everything, I always dress up as if I'm going to go out and meet a client. And when I was single, and if you are single, you should be dressing up, not, to be overdressed, but if you're going out to go to the grocery store or pick up something from CVS or pick up your kids and you're a single mom, look cute, because you could run into somebody anywhere
Yeah.
you are. So wherever you are, it's all about, your packaging, right? How you're
Yep.
looking. The same thing on LinkedIn, Facebook. People look across the land. So I help people to update those images if they're looking for love, but it's still all the same. So as a business person, I say you're networking when you're doing Zoom. So I was on your wonderful group. What was it called? The group?
The networking hub.
Yeah, the networking hub. It was awesome. I met so many cool people. Now you can see, like, some people don't have a background or some people don't care. They don't, but most of those people, they were put together, they were sharp, they had their pitch down, when you're meeting people, but you have to be engaging. You have to be engaging.
Yeah.
So for that, I say you got to have energy, So to keep up with the pace of what we're doing now, to have the energy to put yourself out there for business or love or whatever that you're going out to do, you have to take good care of yourself. So mentally, spiritually, physically. So Get Real About Love is my book is really geared for people that have been so busy that sometimes they keep shoving love on the back burner. And I was guilty of that. And I didn't get married until I was a little older. And I'm not going to say how old I was, because then you can add it all up and figure it out.
No, you look great. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
It
matter
doesn't
anyways.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think those are great points. What I always ask people is, how would you behave if $1 million was hanging in the balance? And then I'll kind of quiz them as to, okay, would you be on time? Oh, absolutely. Would you wear that T-shirt, that's 20 years old? No, of course not. Well, every moment $1 million is hanging in the balance, and not that you need to, wear a sport coat or, or dress up, but I call it the COVID look, right? People early on in the they get on Zoom like, oh, I'm stuck at home. Yeah, right. It's like, you know what? We're all in COVID. Don't feel sorry for yourself. I'm not feeling sorry for you. We're all dealing with it. So I that totally resonates with me. Um, uh, you probably have you run into people who are really successful business wise, and then love wise, they're just totally messed up. I guess my question is this: are they just not making time for it, or are they just doing the wrong things?
Well, it's a combination of both. I find, and it's something that I made up, it's called the once I syndrome. Okay. People have it, especially executives, because I had it. And I used to say, I remember when I was writing this book, my Love Mechanics book,
Yeah.
I said, once this book is done, I'm going to go look for a guy. And guess what? I did find a serious boyfriend at that time, because I kept thinking that once this came out, things were going to stop. I wouldn't be as busy. But the truth is, the more successful you get, you're always going to be busy. So if you don't put love as a priority in your schedule, that's part of the problem with executives. They just don't, they think that it's just going to come. Like I always say to the men, all of the businessmen that are watching this, I don't know if they're going to be watching or listening. Women are hoping that you are going to have love, time for love in your life. And then the men, when they always say, a lot of times when I call women, they're just too busy. So a lot of it has to do with you thinking that you have to achieve a certain level of success before you can put yourself out there. And then in the meantime, you'll be dating somebody that you know you're never going to go the long term with. And people call me, businessmen especially, and they'll say, you know what, Renee, I heard you somewhere and you talked about me or men like me having a temp. And women do it too. And a temp is somebody that's the space filler until you have enough time to look for your wife or your partner or whatever, whoever it might be. Women do it as well. I am guilty of doing it. And I kept thinking, well, this guy's okay, but do I want to bring him home to meet my parents, my big Italian family? No, I did not. And my parents would worry. So that is a big problem with executives, is they have a syndrome that they have to be at a level. That's one of the big keys.
Well, I like that, the one size syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think again that has a place in business as well. Once I do this, then I'll write this book. Once I do this, then I'll launch this. Once I get this done, I'll go out and I'll network. And we're just human, and our flaws are not compartmentalized into our personal lives or our professional lives. In fact, I see it all as one big life, because if in the middle of the day, my kids are all grown now and able to take care of themselves, but the school called and says, your daughter is sick, I would drop things and I would go take care of my daughter. And then at night, when other people might not be working, I would be working to kind of compensate. So it was really all one big day.
A person that's so focused on work, their lens is only focused on that. If you don't carve out love as a priority in your life and say, okay, what have I done today? So I always say to people, well, what is your schedule? Like, look at your whole day. Like, you get up, you make coffee, you look at all of your notes, and then you're working. You don't take any breaks. You have a pattern. Most people have a pattern in their day. If you don't break from those patterns and go break out to meet people, even during COVID, I've been helping singles date during COVID, safely date. And there's I could actually maybe give you a link to it if you can add those to this presentation. But I used to have to carve out time to, make a profile, get pictures done, get your dating wardrobe ready. And even married people should be doing this to keep it spicy in your own life, because now we're home alone. I'm married. I've been married for 15 years. I was a very happily single woman. When I was single, I was an active single woman, and I taught networking classes. I did rapid dating events all over the country. And what I saw, Frank, was unbelievable, how people would show up at an event and they don't even know how to talk to people. Like, they're not really good at articulating, like, hi, what do you do for fun? Like, to discover about a person when it comes to love very quickly, like you do in networking, right? It's sort of like you can kind of analyze if somebody's going to be, somebody that you might need. Like, even on your call the other night, people would do their pitch and then you think, oh God, I can connect with that person and either help them market themselves or refer a client, right? It's the same thing with dating. The women would have lists and they would go, where do you live? Where do you do? But it was like an interview, So you have to learn how to ask the great questions. And in my book, there's questions so that you can ask your top 5 values to see if there's even a match. But normally it's a face-to-face feeling of a connection, an attraction when it comes to dating. People do the swiping, they're online. So people do not realize how they come across until I give them an analysis of their paralysis. So people call me for those evaluations.
Now, when I talk to people or coach people on like small talk at events, where they get hung up is they're worried about what they have to say. What I always say is it's really about getting the other person talking, and it's got to be organic. For example, I was once talking to somebody. You're in California or Vegas, so you don't experience this, but we had a snowstorm here, and I went to this event, and I got to the event, Renee, and I'm like, I ran into a woman. I'd never met her before. I'm like, oh my God, can you believe this snow? And right away she said, "Oh, I love the snow. I really love skiing." Well, that was the center point of our conversation going forward, because that was she wanted to talk about and was and excited about. And I ultimately brought her over to business by just saying, "Well, skiing's expensive. What do you do for a living?" And then, so it was really about her talking and me kind of, it's like dancing, right? I'm just leading, I'm just leading my partner, sort of a thing.
To bring you back to that point, I teach very similar principles, and I call it my flirting with life techniques, right? So flirting with life is using wherever you are, whatever you're doing, or, you go like, there was kids skating at an ice skating rink here in Las Vegas. I was here with a friend, she's single. And I said, you should go over to the skating, because mostly it was kids and all these parents around them. Half of those people are single parents, and she's a single parent. And she goes, well, what would I say? And I said, well, you could say, oh, are those your kids in there? And the guy would go, yeah, my wife sent me down here to bring the kids. Married, looking for the ring, right? Yeah. Right. So you got to be aware of wherever you are. Now, people right now are masked. They can't smile. The smile is one of the biggest ways to connect besides the eyes, because most people, when they meet somebody, like normally at a networking, you would shake their hand, or you'd approach, and or somebody would introduce you, and you look at them and you smile and you make the connection. And then sometimes at networking, you'll have your name tag and it'll say what you do. Mine says the love designer. People goes, what is that?
Yeah.
But nowadays, everybody's masked. So my big question is, I've been meeting strangers every day in lines at Trader Joe's or wherever I am. And I go, how are you doing during Corona? What's keeping you busy? And they go, oh my God, somebody friendly. Like nobody's talking to anybody right now, So it's about an opening. It's about being loving, being open wherever you go. Like you were, oh my God, the music here is great. Or look at the Christmas decorations, look at the kids skating, whatever it is, you can make something out of it. I do have a funny story. And now people are starting to hoard toilet paper again, which I think is crazy. But when the virus first started, everyone was hoarding, right, to go get chicken and fish or whatever. And you're only supposed to get 2 for your family, right? So everybody was in line at Trader Joe's. Now, if you have ever watched Handmaid's Tale, when the women, I don't know if, have you ever seen Handmaid's Tale?
I have not. No.
Well, when the women went grocery shopping for all the men that they had to be servants for, right, they would get something and they would go, blessed be the fruit, right? Because it's the fruit of their work, their labor, right? So here I am, and everybody's like mad and, like attacking. And so I got my chicken and I said, blessed be the fruit. Now, everybody that knew what Handmaid's Tale was, I made like 50 people laugh within 1 minute. And then everybody goes, that is so fun. At least somebody's having fun around here.
Yeah.
So make your life more fun by being the love that you want to receive. And it's not about picking people up. And that's the same thing at networking. And, I just practice teaching people how to approach people. It's really hard right now for people at least to me. I tell them to go on networking groups, because normally, do you have this happen? When I do my events, somebody will call and say, who is the guy in the blue jacket with the ear head? His name was Frank. Can you call him? I think he's cute, right? So I get all these people asking me to fix them up. So be cool, open yourself up on networking calls, Zoom calls, and letting people know if you are single, right? You can say, I'm a business executive. I'm new in the dating game. You don't even have to say, and I'm looking for love. So I'm new in the dating game, and I'm I've been a little bit, this is so good to meet so many cool people. And then somebody might go, I might know somebody for that guy. You never know how it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So take risks. Say if you see something that you like. I always see, like, I'm a big I wear scarves and I like jewelry. So if you see someone that looks attractive or they have a cool mask, that's like the new thing. Love your mask. Where did you get it? So I've gotten into some interesting conversations And a lot of people end up telling me all about their love life in the grocery store line. It's
Well, there
really
you go.
interesting.
No, I'm fond of doing that as well. Of just connecting with people, and I'll tell my wife, I'm like, watch, I'm going to find out where this person went to high school. You know, just just kind of as a challenge. But it's not creepy. It's just kind of in a natural way. Oh, that's an interesting name, blah blah blah, and it just kind of work your way into it. Sort of,
What do you do? It's
yeah,
like, wow. And so we're on the same path, and mine is more toward love and yours is more toward business, but really they're kind of the same thing.
yeah, they
Because
are.
and you have that passion about your job like I do, and that is what made me want to call you. And I could feel his passion through what he wrote about himself on LinkedIn. And I wrote him and I said, I really liked what you wrote on LinkedIn. I want to know why you do. And he said, call me. I could connect you with a lot of people. That made me call him because he made me feel safe to call him without me feeling like I had to pitch him to call. Like, you
Right.
opened the door before the door was open. And that is what people need to do in their marriages. They need to do that in their friendships. Somebody's got to take the lead during this time, because the fear that we're seeing in the media, the fear that we feel, on these days when we're watching the news all the time, it's better to take control of your own mind and create your own little zone within your family and your wife and your family. That's what I've been doing, and being that positive force, because there's so much sadness and fear about all this. So how are we going to bring up level it?
Yeah.
Is by being that person within your business or your family that's going to up level the vibe of what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch gears here quickly. Um, Tell us about your business, how people can help you, and how they can get a hold of you.
Well, my name is Renee Piane. I reinvent people's love lives, people that are going through breakups, shakeups, wake up calls. I think the best thing to do would be to call me for a free consultation, because it's something very personal. So if you're a business person, especially guys, they do not have a confidant to talk about that particular situation unless they're going to a therapist, which some
Right.
people do. And when you go to a therapist, a lot of times the therapist can't give you a makeover on your LinkedIn, or they don't help you remarket and brand yourself, or help you write your profile. So if you need help doing that, that's my specialty, is to help people to build that confidence through the word, through the things that you're saying to other people, through the messages that you put out through LinkedIn and all of the other social media, and especially online. Match.com, people are meeting more now because of COVID. And the other thing I would highly suggest, I guess you didn't, your wife, understand your wife got the book and said, what are you doing? Getting real
Yeah.
about love? Are you going to want to open? You might want to pick up the book, because it's a step-by-step process. Because when you think about it, Frank, almost everyone is in a situation. They've either broken up, they're married, they're not. And this book is more for singles that are reinventing themselves. So half the world's divorced, broken up right now. They're home alone going, oh my God, I can't do what I just did. How do I heal some of the patterns that you might have done? And a lot of it has to do with being a workaholic. And if you read the back, it says, if you're a busy, successful Wonder Woman or Superman who's ready to find love, you have to embark on your own personal investigation of why. And so I'm that person that can take you through that process, and then update your image, help you get spiced back up so you feel confident to go back out there and open your heart to love. Because with a sad heart and a disappointed heart, they go into caves, and women go into groups and get help. Most guys are more private. I would say my business is probably 60% men, and the rest are busy workaholic Wonder Women. And
Interesting.
they hear me say, if you're home alone for all these years and you keep thinking, once you reach this level, now some people don't even have jobs. So it's time to wake yourself up. And that's what I do every day. It's really, I can't tell you how many people say that they wish they had a confidant with private matters of the heart. So
That's
why
you.
I have hearts all over the place.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta take care of your own heart. You gotta take care of your own heart.
So do we put your phone number in the show notes, or do you want me to put an
Well,
email?
I can give you a link. I'll send you over my they can look through my programs. I have a one-time consultation where I can do a 90-minute evaluation. I can give them tips and they can do it on their own. And then if they like it, they might have me help them. But I can send you links to those things. A free consultation is free. They can meet me over Zoom. I'd like to see them, how they represent themselves. And they can go to reneepiane.com and then go to my contact page and just say, I want a free consultation. Or they can set it up on my, they can just contact me at my office, which is my phone number at 310-827-1100. But it's the best way is either through email or my contact page. And also I have Candly Calendar. But I actually like having them write to me so I know they're serious. Sometimes people, when they make a future really far out date, so I usually get them to write to me so I know they're serious and why they contacted me. And I'll call them right away to set it up. And it's a very personal thing for them. So I think when they're serious about it, I'm not going to bite you. I won't hurt you. I will inspire you to take action in your love life. So they would just have to go to Renee, RENEEPIANE.com/contact, or call me at 310-827-1100 or email me. So I'll send you all of those things to put up in your notes. And I have all different programs for people that are going through all different things. So I individually customize packages for each and every person. But most of them are executives that are busy and they're going, oh my God. Most of the people I've been working with during Corona said, this is the first time I've ever had time to evaluate any of this. And it's been the best thing because it's making me see myself in a different way and giving them the steps to literally reinvent what you've been doing and exact steps to heal parts of you that might, because I find that people have a division, like one part wants the love and the other part says, I don't know, because of past. So I help you look at the past, the present, and how you want to design the future.
Sounds great. Thank you for being on the program today.
Thank you so much for letting me share my passion. And I can't wait to share your passion with my people as well. So everybody out there, keep your heart open to love. And if there's any way I can serve you, I am here to inspire you that love can happen anytime, anywhere.